What's up, fellow Vanguard nerds? I'm Babblerab, and this is the updated build of my Maelstrom deck. Also, it's a new map that I got from like a sneak peek pack a while ago that I haven't shown off yet, so yeah. Anyway, I posted the other Maelstrom deck like a while ago, and then lots of you guys were just like, or not lots of you guys, but like, I did have every intention of updating it, and I know I may have accidentally confused some of you guys into thinking that this was post set 13. So yeah, just so you know, I don't have the Magellanica Zeroth Dragon yet. I'm going to be getting into a case of the Bermuda set, so I will get Megado-chan. So, yay, thumbs up. But yeah, so this is the updated build of my Maelstrom deck. Trying some gimmicky stuff here because it is partially a fun deck, so yeah, you'll see some questionable choices. So, playing still Marios, that should come as no surprise. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say about that. And then, trigger lineup has changed. Not really, but just what we're running. We're running 4 Refit Sailor. So what she does is if there's one in your drop zone, you bind 1 copy of her. So when you G-Guard with her, you can bind a copy of her in your drop zone, face up, to countercharge or soul charge 1. This is really good, and this happens when she's used for G-Guard. So yeah, this helps because I don't have the Supersonic Sailors, I don't have the unflipping PGs. I mean, I've got 2 Supersonic Sailors, but I don't have the unflipping PGs, and it's also expensive. So this is a nice alternative to that. Plus, in addition, there's another card in the deck that also helps a lot with Counterblast. So this really solves a lot of Counterblast problems that I was running into with other builds of the deck. Also, there's a nice combo with her, that another card that I'm running for fun that combos with her. So yeah, crits, we're playing 2 Supersonic Sailor because that's all we have. Rip. And then I kind of didn't want to have these certain cards go to waste here. So we're only playing 3 Despina and we're playing 4 Petros. So reason why we're just playing 3 Despina is because I found that I don't use her effect that much when using her. She's really, really nice to combo with Wailing Thavis, but at the same time, I had a 3rd Petros lying around, so I was just thinking to myself, kind of want to have a Petros in the deck, or use all my Petros, because really, I could build Thavis, but I don't currently want to at the moment. So I was like, okay, let's throw all the Petros in this, because I do play Thavis strides. But yeah, if you don't want to, like, run, probably what you would do is you just run 4 Supersonic, 4 Despina, is what I would advise if you had the Supersonics. I keep moving the mat, so whatever. And, of course, the 4 Malika. Wow, big surprise. The draws are really nice in the deck, and she does help with the soul. So, yeah. Then, we're gonna not do that in that order. We got 3 Strad Nibblers, so Kelpie, Rider, Nikki. This deck is a lot more Stride reliant than the previous build, so you want to see it. Pretty simple. 4 PG, still running the Maelstrom one. I do use his skill actually fairly often, so it's pretty good and helps in that manner. And yeah, because like he puts himself back to your hand so you can attack with him. The only problem is that you could run into a situation where he gets, if you're playing against Dominate or I think Link Joker, probably want to leave him in your hand because you really don't want him dying because you decide, hey, I want to boost with him. And then we're just playing 3 Theta, and that's because I'm making room for 1 copy or 3 copies of another card. I cut, what did I cut? Mind Eye Sailor for this new card. So yeah, 3 Theta. I don't use her as much as I thought I would, or as I used to, but she's still really good combo with Rascal Sweeper. And then we're playing 3 Chloris, and that's solely due to the fact that if you have one of her in your drop zone, and you G-Guard with her, she now goes to your bind zone, therefore you put Chloris on the board, and now you've got a thing in your bind zone, which is now 15k shield, which reduces the chance of you dying, and because this deck does not hand advantage very well as opposed to other decks, she is a nice little bonus comboed with Refit Sailor. So yeah, that's kind of why it's a nice little defensive bonus, because this deck doesn't maintain a super big hand unless it's already winning. Yeah, everything I said made sense there. So then for the grade 2s, we got 4 Elder Moss. This guy is just all around amazing. No complaints about him at all. Fantastic card. And he helps you get to the win condition, which is I swing 2 crit, you can't guard at all. In addition to Lordly. And then 2 Rascal Sweeper, 2 Magnum Assault. Once I get 2 more Rascal Sweepers, he's going. But the reason I read Magnum Assault is because Magnum Assault is still pretty fun to play. But like, you probably want to just play the Rascal Sweeper because the combo with Theta is really good. Then we got 4 Tidal Assault. Go figure. This deck doesn't early game as hard as it used to, but at the same time, Tidal Assault's still really nice because even in the later game, it's no counterblast cost to get your extra attacks. So that's really good. Plus, you can do it when you're not at GB. So that's, yeah. That's all there is to say about that. The grade 3s is 4 Maelstrom Break Ride and 4 Lordly Maelstrom. This guy is freaking amazing. Like, he really is pretty much just replaced everything. He's replaced, like, all the other Maelstrom cards. I was planning on, like, running maybe 1 Glory in the deck still just because it's searchable. But no, we're just more than happy to run Lordly all the time. So, yeah, that's all there really is to say about that. Original Maelstrom, because he does get your Maelstrom stuff. Or original Maelstrom Break Ride, per se. And then Lordly, for everyone who does not know what he does, is you counterblast 1 when you stride with him. I'm just going to read it, because I don't know what it does either. So, when you unit with Maelstrom, its original card named Strides, you can pay the cost. If you do, choose a card from your drop zone, put it into your soul, and choose a card with Blue Storm in its name from your hand, call it to rear guard, and then it gets once per turn. At the end of the battle, they attack, stand this unit. So he actually combos really nicely with Elder Moss, because he can swing for 14k from the back row with his skill. And then because of Lordly, he can restand afterwards. So yeah, that's really good and helps you get to your power endgame play thing with Lordly and then Engulf Maelstrom. So yeah, like I said, this deck's a lot of fun to play. Really, really enjoy it. And it's stupid how you just keep like swinging with guard restriction and crit. So then we're playing 2 Disaster Maelstrom. You really just go into him once. I don't even go into Commander Thavis now anymore because this guy's here just to set up for like the next play. So 2's good, and he gets even better because of Elder Moss and Lordly, because then he gives everything in your front row 5k. So that's really nice. Honestly, if I had 4, I've got 3, but if I had 4, I'd probably tinker with 4 of him and no Commander Thavis, just because he got way more viable with Lordly Maelstrom, as I said. And then 4 Engulf Maelstrom. This guy is like pretty much your finisher of the deck, and pretty much like when you're in mid game, you're just like, I'm gonna make your life miserable. Let's stride him. So what he does is, wave 4th time only, your opponent can't call cards from his or hand or G zone with a grade less than the number of cards of Maelstrom in your soul. The way this deck rolls, you can get an average of 2 cards with Maelstrom into your soul if you're not riding each turn. 1 from Lordly, 1 from Elder Moss. Therefore, you're gonna start with they can't grade with grade 1s or grade 0. So that already basically says G guard or bust, buddy. You then, if you assume you ride next turn, you're gonna get a lot of Maelstroms from your deck, but this deck can get Maelstroms out of your deck with like no problem at all. So then assume you ride, and then you get 2 more Maelstroms in your drop zone. 1 off of paying cost for stride, other one, however, you do it again, you have 5. So if everything works absolutely perfectly, they are physically unable to guard this guy by your 2nd stride of him, which is stupid. And on the 1st stride, if everything's playing well, they can't guard with grade 1 or grade 0, so it's just like, you're in trouble. And then this 2nd skill just basically turns the game into a countdown, because you flip up a copy of anything in your G zone. If you have 2 or more cards with Maelstrom in your G zone, which you do because you played Disaster, so that's not going to be a problem at all, he gets 5k and a crit. So you have guard restriction plus crit. This deck kind of just puts Metalborgs to shame, which is like the original reason why I built this deck, was because, hey, it plays like Metalborgs, but it's Aqua Force. And now it's just gone and taken the guard restriction to an entire new level, which is just absurd. Late game, this guy is just ridiculous. If you get to late game, you're against this deck, you're in a lot of trouble. And then because I don't have Alexandros, I kind of was sitting there slowly crying to myself as I was deciding whether or not I wanted to order it. So we're stuck with playing a bunch of old cards. I mean, he's still freaking amazing. We got 2 Wailing Thavis. Yeah, if you need to just nuke your opponent's board, pretty easy to do so. And him comboed with Despina means you have to G-guard this attack. Plus I swing huge numbers, so you can't nullify it at all. Then 2 Lambros, 2 Commander Thavis. That's really the whole story there. Again, might cut Commander Thavis to play for Disaster Maelstrom, but as it currently stands, 2 Commander Thavis just for now, because he's there. And then you got the 2 Lambros, because Lambros. You know, Lambros still nice. And then we only got 4 G-guards because we're really strange like that. So we got 2 of him. Basically, he can guard Eritin and make sure Eritin doesn't get killed, which is nice. And then 2 of the new one. What are you called? Blue Wave Armor General Galphilia. Yeah, this is a really good card. Nothing else to say about that. This card is freaking amazing because you Soul Blast, you flip them face down, you can choose a card from your field or your damage zone, turn it face up, aka, hey, I've gone and locked your card, okay, cool, I'm going to flip it up and now continue punching you in the face, or, oh, I need damage, okay, I'll trade Soul for damage. In addition, if it's the second or third attack, he gets 5k shield. Like, this card is, oh, I love it. I love it so much. So, yeah. Plus, he recycles your G-Guards, too, which makes, like, your opponent's life even more miserable, because you just keep flipping them face down, and it's like, I can G-Guard forever. Fight me. So, yeah. That was the whole Maelstrom deck. I'll just quickly show what I was talking about with, like, the whole Chloris thing. So, Chloris will be sitting in the back row. She's not getting retired because you don't want her to get retired, so let's just assume she's not going to get retired. And you've gone and used Refit Sailor, whatever. Like, it's really pretty self-explanatory combo, but just showing what I mean. So you got one, you G-Guard, whatever. He's not bound. You've got like 3 cards in your hand or something. Your opponent swings. You can go Chloris, skill, guard. And it's a 15k guard, too. So yeah, that was kind of just my mentality. I was watching a Blue Wave deck profile from another person, or from a person who plays Aquaforce as a main. He was like, you can run, this is really good in Blue Wave because you can use the PGs for Blue Wave and the heal trigger in Blue Wave to make Chloris' skill really live. So my thoughts was like, well, Maelstrom doesn't have a big hand. I don't know what else I would run in the grade 1 lineup presently, so possibly Chloris could introduce some more defense. The only downside is, unlike another deck that I play, this deck can't really dig for heal triggers, so you can't really bum rush that. So there's a slight problem there, but other than that, it still works fairly well. So yeah, if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. And other than that, I am Babblerab, and I will talk to you guys in whatever the next video I make is. Peace.